What do I do if my parents don't approve of my career or my lifestyle choices? I get this question a lot. I'm starting to get it more and more. I can totally relate. I'm East Indian. Guess what my parents wanted me to be? A doctor. Does it look like I'm doing surgery right now? I'm in a room talking on YouTube. Like I could not have deviated further from the standard expected Indian son that my parents wanted me to be. Having said that, my parents were not overbearing in any case. I will say though, the question I usually get this from is like people whose parents are, say, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, they have strong religious beliefs, they have very, very strong desiring of their kids to make a lot of money or be really educated. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I get it. I totally get it. I can relate. But here's the two things I want you to remember, okay? Number one, they're only gonna be alive half your life. You're gonna be alive your whole life. They're only alive half your life. You're alive your whole life. The average lifespan right now is 1,000 months long. 1,000 months, that's all you got, okay? 1,000 months. Your parents are on average gonna be alive for half of them, maybe a little bit more, but probably around half. So do you want to do something for them that you hate yourself for the other half of your life that they're not around for? You'll just be kicking yourself, and you'll be kicking yourself the whole time through it too. So there's a big kind of forget them kind of push I want to just use, and the proof point is they're only around for half of what you got, okay? The second thing though I want to tell you about is what I call the workaround. The workaround. Because you have to explore what your parents' deep desires are. If you're like, Neil, I can't get there, you know what I mean? My parents want me to be a doctor, I gotta be a doctor. Okay. Or here's one I often get. My parents don't want my boyfriend and I to live together before we're married. That's a really common one, especially for Eastern cultures, right? You guys can relate if you're watching this. But there's a workaround. There's always a workaround. So what's the workaround? Because you're thinking, I want to test my relationship. I want to see if my boyfriend and I can make this work. I want to see if we're marriage material. But how are we supposed to know that if we can't live together? My parents don't want us to live together, so how will I ever know? Well, what's the workaround? Do your parents also say you can't travel together? No, they probably don't say that. They probably haven't thought of that. That probably isn't one of their barriers. They're fine with travel. Traveling's traveling. That's a totally separate thing. So you travel. And what do you do when you travel? You stress test your relationship. Really, anyone who's traveled with a partner knows what I'm talking about. You're having to walk all over the place, figure things out in train stations, learn languages, check into hostels at 2 in the morning. You're stress testing your relationship. And by the way, what are you doing? Sleeping together, living together, being together the whole time. So you're really living together. Could you go on, I have a friend right now, actually one of my wife's cousins, who's on like a 6-month cycling tour up Chile. Okay, that's amazing. She's like backpacking up Chile. It's a really thin country, so you have to be careful you don't fall off. Just kidding. But point is, she's stress testing the relationship. They're not living together, they're not married, but she's found a workaround, and there's always a workaround. I have friends whose parents want them to be doctors. What do? Well, they go to school and they get the combined program, the MD, MBA. Yeah, and you might have to do 5 years instead of 4 or whatever. But then when you graduate, you can be like, you know what, I can use that medical degree and I can go get a business job. I can go work for a consulting company if that's what I want to do. I can go work for a drug company if that's what I wanted to do. The point is I made my parents happy and I did something I wanted to. So if you can't get your head around the first thing, which is that they're only alive half your life, so you just forget them, then try to get your head around the second, which is that no matter what the thing they want is, find out what the root real issue is and try to find a workaround that also works for you. I guarantee in every situation there usually is one. Guarantee, usually, there is one, and I hope you can find it. What do you think? Is that going to work for you? Leave me a comment, leave me a message, drop me a line below, tell me what your parents are asking you to do, and if this works. Thanks.